I do not know what happened. Hi, Mason. Thank you. I'm looking for somebody. Thank you. I don't know what happened. Must be when I went to do that confirm. You got Mason already. Northcote. I don't know where she is. Oh. So, what we're going to do, we're going to read some stories, and we are going to do it here real shortly. So, I got to move everything out of my way and get ready. Okay, I'm going to read the introduction so you know what the book's about. I live in Erie County. And Erie County has a few. Hey, Rattletrap. Has a few hauntings in here. So I'm going to read them to you. How are you? Come on, smash my thumb again. Okay. Is everybody ready? This is the introduction. No doubt about it. Erie County, Pennsylvania residents are a hardy lot. As far back as 1792, when the country was first established, folks here had to deal not only with the long, cold, snowy winters, but also with the constant threat of death at the hands of the Iroquois Indians who inhabited the region. According to a 1992 article by Mike Hudson in the Corey Journal, the leader of the Sixth Iroquois Nation met with representatives from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in 1792 to turn over the land that is now Erie County for about $2,000 in cash and goods. Unfortunately, not all of the Native Americans were pleased with the deal, and some continued their attack on Erie County settlers for many years. The land that is now Erie County was also claimed by 4 other states besides Pennsylvania. All were interested in the natural port of Presque Isle. In the in the end, Pennsylvania was the winner, but only after paying the federal government more than $150,000 for the land. Obviously, our early ancestors fought long and hard for this land, and the generations that follow struggles to keep it gradually improving. The quality of our lives and shaping of Erie County and the shaping of Erie County we know today. It is possible that after such a struggle, some Erie County residents may be reluctant to leave, even after their early lives about over. We'll see. In the page of this book, you will meet a diverse group of Erie Countians. Some living in this world and some in the next. If the West County paranormal investigators find evidence of spirits hauntings at a local museum, UFO sightings bounds. Further south, a deranged woman still haunts the hotel she once tried to destroy. Someone once asked me why there are so many ghost stories associated with Erie County. That's a good question, and one that I really can't answer well. I believe there are plenty of spirits everywhere, not just in Erie County, but one has to be turned over in order to see they experience them. For reasons unknown to me, some people are able to tune in easily to paranormal phenomena, while most of us cannot. Scientists are now Scientists are just now beginning to discover that all human beings operate on a certain vibrational level, and some people seem to vibrate at a higher frequency than others. Consider your car radio for a second. Naturally, you would not expect to hear your favorite station playing while your radio was turned to a different station. Likewise, I suppose we cannot expect to see ghosts or even UFOs if we don't happen to be operating on the same frequencies as they are at the time. Many of our individuals I interviewed for this book prefaced the story by saying, "You'll probably think I'm crazy." Sadly, paranormal experiences are often ridiculed in our Western culture. This is not the case. However, in many other parts of the world, I recently watched TV documentaries sets in Iceland. Politicians, educators, physicians, philosophers, and police officers were interviewed, along with a number of ordinary citizens, about their experience with what they refer to as the hidden people. All of all of these individuals freely admitted to having regular seen elves, fairies, and other creatures that most of us believe exits only exist well, not in stories. The people of Iceland believe that due to their unique location on the earth, The energy there is pure, allowing them to see what others cannot. Crazy? Maybe. On the other hand, if you take a look back at the history of the world so far, I'll bet you can find I bet you can think of other of a few other folks who were once thought by their peers to be crazy. Galileo, Columbus, Pasteur, Einstein. Okay, now we got the. I am going to read you another story. It is called The Battle of Museums. That's what I'll be reading next. Well, they call that the Yellow House, but I gotta find out where it's at. So I'm gonna rest. What are you doing? Yeah. Okay, Mason. Have a good night. Now the real ghost story is gonna come and get you. Must be nobody likes me now. They all left me. Thanks, West Haven. I don't care. I don't care if they don't like you. My stream, I want you here. Okay. Trying to figure out where that's at. I think I've seen it before. Oh, it's up in Gerard. Okay, we've got another story coming up here shortly. I was hoping to get the first one here today. But I didn't. I'm going back. Hello, everyone. Oh boy. Okay. You ready for the next? You ready for the story, Melinda? Belinda? Okay, here we go. I might have to take a break in between and get a drink or something. In 1858, lawyer, banker, farmer Rush Battles set about building a home on the outskirts of the tiny village of Girard, Pennsylvania. Rush's father had recently died, leaving him with the responsibility of providing a dwelling for his mother and two unmarried sisters. The house is on Walnut Street, now commonly known as the Yellow House. By the local residents, took 2 years to finish, but the result was worth the wait. Much more elaborated than the typical Girard farmhouse of the time. The Italianate style showplace was the talk of the town. Since the home was spacious enough for more than one family, Rush also intended to live there along with his future bride when the time came for him to be married. Unfortunately, that day never arrived. Rush married Charlotte Webster, a headstrong and progressive young woman from a prominent Girard family. But just prior to their wedding day, Charlotte announced that she had no intentions of living with her future mother in law and wanted to have a home of her own. So in 1861, Rush began again and constructed a second, much smaller home only a few hundred yards north of the first one. After their honeymoon, Rush and Charlotte settled into their cozy farmhouse dubbed the White House by, by today's Girardites and started a family. Although the couple produced 3 children, only one survived. Only one survived the often fatal childhood disease of the 19th century to adulthood. Charlotte Elizabeth Battles, or Beth, as she came to be called, was born in 1864 in the White House and would live there until her death in 1952. Beth Battles grew to be a beautiful, intelligent, and gracious young lady, well educated for a woman of her time. She attended both the Lake Erie Seminar in Painesville, Ohio, and Mount Vernon Seminar in Washington, D.C. There she met and married Charles Barber, an attorney, and the pair began their new life in the nation's capital. Within a few months, however, Rush Battles had traveled to Washington, retrieved his daughter, and annulled the marriage. The reason for the breakup was never clear, although if the local gossip is to be believed, Barber revealed his true nature as an abusive scoundrel shortly after the couple moved from Girard. Whatever the circumstance, it was apparently enough to sour Beth on the idea of marriage. She returned to her parents' home and poured her considerable energy into learning her father's business, developing her talent as an artist. And served the Girard community. An active member of dozens of civil organizations, Beth Battles also served on the school board, and after her father's death became one of the nation's first female bank president. By the 1920s, both of Beth's parents, as well as her grandmother and aunts, had died. On her own, for the first time in her life, Beth found staying in the house by herself to be unbearably lonely, and so invited a friend, Georgiana Reed, to move in with her. The two women got along very well, and together they remodeled the house, adding hardwood floors, two state-of-the-art bathrooms, and an extra bedroom on the second floor. Georgiana also had a talent for business and helped Beth to manage her father's many investments along with maintaining the yellow house and the adjoining farmland. For the next 30 years, the Battle Estate thrived under the supervision of the two ladies. In addition to their many responsibilities, Beth and Georgiana found time to travel expensively as well as to entertain friends and business associates with elegant garden parties and tea. Despite their divergent personality, Beth being quiet and soft spoken while Georgiana is a bit more tart. Both women earned the love and the respect of the Girard community. In 1952, of the age of 88, Beth Battle passed away at her beloved White House on Walnut Street. Georgiana remained in the house for another 30 years, keeping up the Battle's estate and carrying on business as usual until her own death at 100 years of age. Upon the deaths of Miss Battle and Miss Reed, the two Battles homes, along with the surrounding property, were willed to the Erie County Historical Society, and is and in the late 1980 were converted to the Battle Museum of Rural Life, and the Yellow House is currently interpreted as a 19th century farmhouse, with the White House display a multiple of furnishings, dishes, glassware, and other household items and heirlooms, including two antique automobiles, all original possessions of the Battle family, spanning from them 2 centuries. Almost immediately after, work was underway to renovate the century-old homes to allow the public invitation of the museum staff began to report unexplained incidents. I'll be right back. Don wants me. have to go potty. Okay, back to the story, Belinda. Carefully placed items would disappear, only to be found somewhere else the next day. A plumber, working alone, or so he thought, in the upstairs bathroom of the White House. Who came in? Hi, Joe. I want to get her down. Okay. Upstairs bathroom of the White House. One morning, was startled to suddenly see an elderly white-haired woman standing in the doorway. He spoke to her, but receiving no reply, returned to his work. When he glanced up again, this is a pretty long story. The woman had vanished. Puzzled, the plumber walked next door to the yellow house where staff was working on a photo exhibit of the Battle family and mentioned that an old woman, had been watching him work on the White House bathroom. There's the White House. I might go up there. As he described the woman, his eyes fell on one particular photo in the exhibit. That's her, he exclaimed. That's the lady I saw. Who is she? Georgiana Reed, answered the astounded staff. In 15 or so years since the battle homes were opened as museums, ghostly occurrences have continued on a regular basis. Visitors to the White House have reported feeling an invisible hand touch their arm or tug on their jackets as they wander through the first floor. Two volunteer tour guides, both self-professed skeptic, refused to enter the second floor bedroom since being blasted with a gust of icy air while escorting visitors in the room during the recent evening tour. The Yellow House has also had more than its share of report of paranormal activity. The sound of children laughing and singing has been heard when no children are present in the house or on the grounds. Footsteps are frequently heard on the stairs and moving back and forth across the second floor when all the staff is on the first floor. Lamps mysteriously change locations by themselves. A woman visiting the house for a meeting left abruptly after insisting she saw a murky black figure looming in the doorway of the dining room. In one particular startling incident, museum staff observed a full apparition of a woman clothed in a long black Victorian style dress in an upstairs bedroom. The woman floated across the foot of the bed, then passed through the closet door and disappeared. Shortly after the ghost disappeared in the bedroom, a group of paranormal investigators who had no previous knowledge of the house history, various pieces of equipment were utilized. by the investigators to determine in any correlation, correlation could be found between the electromagnetic energy in the house and the unusual events that had been witnessed by the staff. Very little out of the ordinary could be found in the first floor, upstairs. Whoops, I moved. First floor. However, a sharp distortion of the electromagnetic energy was discovered in the second floor bedroom near the closet door, where where the full apparition had been seen. The psychic also report a strong impression of a female near the same closet door. The paranormal findings, which seem to make sense considering that the house was occupied by many years of three females, Rush Battle's mother, Elizabeth, and his two sisters, Alcina and Lucina. Since all three lived in the home for most of their adult lives, certainly one can imagine any one of them feeling strongly enough about their home to stick around and make sure that all is in order. Perhaps they are even enjoying the energy brought about by the steady stream of visitors admiring their grand house. So if you had to visit northwestern Erie County, stop in and visit the Battle Museum. More than likely, someone from the Battle family will be home. There you go, Belinda. Hello, Wiccan Waves. I've seen you up there. I think so too. I would like to go. It's crazy, but sounds good to me. Hey, Joe, you lurking? You got your eyeballs up, or you just left? Oh. I'll come up and get you. Then we'll go. Find out what the hours are. So, I know Mason fell asleep. I read in the story he fell asleep. And plus his melatonin was kicking in. I know. I think they went to bed too. Well, nobody wants to come in. I forgot to bring in my... Great. No one's going to come in now. Where's Wicked out tonight? Where's Wicked at? Wicked! I got rid of some people on my book I don't want in there no more. I have one that won't leave me alone. That's one I got to talk to you about. I blocked them, but you don't care where she went. I don't care where they went neither. As long as they went. Even lurkers aren't even here. That's a shame. You don't know? We should do a spirit box and see what comes up. I only have the PS. What are you doing back there, Zaya? I gotta find my... There it is. I don't know where Wicked is. My battery is dead. Hold on, see if I got some here. These ones get thrown out. Let's see how these work. I got 3 bars, but we're not going to be on long. Back on. I put some more in it. No, it might. It ain't gonna work because it's gonna kill batteries real quick. I need some batteries. I'm gonna throw these away because they're no good. I don't know if we have any. I'm gonna go out and look and come right back. Might have some of my ghost. I might have to get some more. glue. Thank you. If I have any. Not in that pocket. I hate this different one. Well, I was going to do a spirit box, but I can't. I have no batteries. I thought I did. Unless I put them in my new bag. Oh, hi. I'll go to Walmart tomorrow and get some. Yeah, I'm going to have to go get batteries tomorrow. So after the stories, we'll do spirit boxes. I'll read you one more. It's a short one. You want it? Do you want it? It's called Dead Man's Creek. Is Mike enjoying these stories? Or is he running around like his head's cut off? Here we go. Dead Man's Creek. Some folks in the West County area believe that not only are the battle homes haunted, but the surrounding property may be haunted, may be affected as well. The story of Dead Man's Creek was seen to illustrate this point in the mid-19th century when the Battle family lived on the outskirts of Girard, Borough, and their prosperous farm. It was their custom to invite the entire town to a picnic on their property each summer. It was during one such summer picnic in 1861 that the legend of Dead Man Creek was born. After all had finished enjoying the bountiful food and drink, some of the men decided to walk off their meal by strolling along what was then known as Battle Creek. Battle Creek flows from an artesian spring under the ground, and as a result seems almost to appear out of nowhere. As two of the men approached the creek, they made a disturbing discovery. Floating face down in the shallow water was the body of a young man in his early 20s. The man had obviously been murdered. His throat slashed from ear to ear. The two men pulled the body from the creek, and their calls for help brought most of the townspeople running to see what had happened. Nobody recognized the young man, and no identification could be found on his body. For weeks, local authorities attempted to solve the case, to no avail. On the surface, this story may seem to be just another unsolved killing. However, this case had a surprising twist. When the body was found, the young man was dressed in a brand new, perfectly fitting uniform from the War of 1812. Local residents have developed a number of theories to explain this strange event, none of which, of course, can be proven. A suicide. Possibly, but not likely, considering how the man was killed. A simple murder in which the killer or killers dressed the man in the uniform as some sort of twisted joke, or in an attempt to throw off the authorities. Maybe, or one of the more intriguing explanations, it is possible that the battle property contains a hole in time through which this man from 1812 suddenly appear nearly 50 years after his death. That's something too. But I like to do that one in the spring. Oh, today's a bad day. I don't care. The people that want to be here, we're here. Uh-huh. They were. That last one's throwing me a little bit. I know water is um like a hole for them to come through. Mirror, anything. Yeah, portals. Yeah. Oh, holes, portals. Okay, I'm gonna get off here. I'll see you tomorrow, Belinda. Thank you for stopping in and staying. All right, see you tomorrow.